everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Tucked along South Africa's stunning Overstrand coast, where towering cliffs tumble into the rolling waves of the Indian Ocean, sits Pringle Bay, a quiet little village less than an hour from Cape Town. With its mild weather, breathtaking scenery, and laid-back vibe, this hidden gem attracts everyone from city developers and weekend travelers to retirees and Afro-Europeans searching for a slice of tranquility. Yet behind the picture-perfect views lies a surprising twist. Pringle Bay isn't just home to beach cottages and mountain trails. It's also territory for chacma baboons, unpredictable primates that roam freely through the region. These wild neighbors treat the rocky hills and lush valleys as their playground, often clashing with locals in a never-ending tug-of-war. One morning you might see them perched proudly on the mountain peaks, surveying the village below like it's theirs. If you enjoy stories like this, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and join us for more incredible adventures from around the world. One moment they're hidden deep in the valleys, and the next they're marching straight into town. At sunrise, the troop often storms Pringle Bay under the command of a scarred old alpha who's clearly survived plenty of battles. What follows is pure mayhem. Baboons leaping across rooftops, diving into swimming pools, and turning the quiet village upside down. Residents raise the alarm, but the primates don't seem to care. While the youngsters wrestle and play, the adults get down to business, breaking into homes, raiding kitchens, and leaving a trail of destruction behind. In South Africa's wild coastal terrain, the uneasy standoff between people and chacma baboons is nearing a boiling point. These fearless raiders are more than just a nuisance. Their constant invasions can devastate farms and neighborhoods, racking up damages estimated at nearly $1.5 million a year in some regions. As tempers flare, many residents feel cornered, forcing them to consider controversial tactics like baboon hunting just to restore a sense of order. This uneasy standoff between humans and wildlife highlights a deeper struggle. How do you share the same space when survival drives both sides into conflict? The answer isn't simple, and the tension only grows with every new encounter. Not far away in Betty's Bay, the dense fynbos and jagged cliffs create the perfect hideout for chacma baboons. Here, seasoned hunters step in when the animals become most aggressive and unpredictable. Armed with .308 Winchester rifles for precise long-range shots and Tiger T3 tranquilizers for close-range encounters, these teams move with deliberate stealth, crouching low and weaving through rocks and brush to stay invisible until the moment they strike. Silencers keep rifle fire quiet, while tranquilizers require flawless precision inside 100 feet. To tip the scales, hunters rely on motion sensor cameras and GPS collars, tracking baboon movements and coordinating relocations. It's a delicate balance of technology and strategy in an ongoing struggle where human survival collides with raw instinct. At first light near Pringle Bay, the battle turns tactical as hunters square off against chacma baboons, whose sharp intelligence peaks during their chaotic morning raids. Deep in the fynbos, steel cages baited with ripe mangoes and wired with infrared sensors lie in wait for the bold young scouts leading each incursion. Every time a trap slams shut, the team feels a flicker of victory, a brief sense that they're winning ground. But the triumph never lasts long. These cunning primates learn fast, memorizing trap sites and forcing hunters into a relentless chess match where every move demands reinvention. The cost of these clashes isn't just measured in dollars, it's also emotional. Culling baboons, animals known for their tight-knit, almost family-like bonds, leaves many locals uneasy. Their raids, fueled by the instinct to survive rather than malice, cause as much as $1.5 million in damages every year across South African communities. Still, for residents of Pringle Bay, killing them feels like striking at the very soul of the region's wild beauty. To find a middle ground, conservationists are pushing for gentler solutions. Air horns and pepper spray are used to drive baboons away, while wildlife wardens rely on radio trackers to redirect troops towards safer feeding grounds like the remote Kogelberg biosphere. The goal is simple but urgent, protecting livelihoods without extinguishing the untamed spirit of the land. Can we strike a balance, protecting human livelihoods while still respecting the wild spirit of these intelligent animals? This video is created for education and awareness, with every scene following local laws and ethical hunting practices. Out here in the rugged terrain and dense forests of the Guadalupe Mountains, the hunt is as much about stewardship as it is about survival. Gunshots have echoed through the air, and for good reason. Welcome back to Northwoods Pursuit, where today we're diving into a wild story unfolding in Olin, Texas, a town suddenly overrun by monkeys. That's right, thousands of primates have turned this once quiet community into their own playground. The Texas Department of Wildlife estimates between 2,600 and 3,000 monkeys are now roaming the streets, leaving behind broken fences, raided yards, and growing concerns about public safety. So how did this small Texas town transform into a monkey metropolis? And what's being done to get things under control? Stick around, because we've got the full breakdown. And if you enjoy uncovering unbelievable real-world stories like this one, make sure to hit that subscribe button. We're on the road to 10,000 subscribers, and you won't want to miss what's coming next. The monkey crisis in Olin didn't appear out of nowhere. It started with what seemed like harmless fun, locals tossing snacks to curious primates. But those free handouts quickly turned timid monkeys into fearless scavengers. Now they tear through trash cans, sneak inside homes, and leave destruction in their path. The result? A 30% spike in trash complaints and a sharp rise in health risks, with disease concerns from human-monkey contact doubling in just a single year. With the situation spiraling, officials are rolling out a drastic and controversial solution, an organized hunt to cut the population down. Only seasoned hunters are being recruited, each armed with a .222 caliber rifle, chosen for its precision and ability to ensure a swift, humane kill. 20 teams will be stationed across the most heavily impacted areas, targeting neighborhoods where daily life has been turned upside down. And to drive participation, the government is putting serious money on the line, a $500 reward for every monkey removed. The proposal has sparked heated controversy. Animal rights groups and many local residents argue the hunt is cruel and unnecessary, warning that wiping out large numbers of monkeys could disrupt the delicate balance of the ecosystem and create new problems down the line. Their pushback raises an important question. Is lethal force really the only option, or could a more compassionate approach solve the crisis just as effectively? To address those concerns, officials have introduced a non-lethal alternative, cage trapping. These heavy-duty metal enclosures are built with safety in mind, protecting both the monkeys and the handlers. Equipped with secure sliding or spring-loaded doors, the traps are designed to minimize stress while preventing escape. Wildlife teams place them in areas with the highest monkey activity, baited with irresistible treats like bananas, mangoes, apples, and nuts. Once a primate steps onto a trigger, whether a pressure plate or tripwire, the door snaps shut, capturing the animal quickly, safely, and humanely. This strategy strikes a balance, reducing the monkey population while keeping animal welfare front and center. And the results speak for themselves. Data from the Texas Parks and Wildlife Department shows more than 2,700 monkeys were safely captured in 2024, a noticeable drop from the 3,800 caught in 2023. In just the past 2 years, over 2,500 monkeys have been relocated to wildlife reserves, giving them space to live freely without wreaking havoc in nearby communities. Still, the problem is far from solved. The invasive population continues to test the patience of residents and officials alike. Metal traps remain the most reliable option, but some locals experiment with homemade wooden traps, though they're harder to build and far less effective. Whether you're using professional equipment or DIY methods, understanding how each trap works is essential before attempting to capture these clever, elusive primates. So what do you think? Are these monkeys just a quirky twist of nature, or a serious problem that's spiraling out of control? Share your thoughts in the comments below. Press 0 if you're simply fascinated, 1 if you're genuinely concerned. We'd love to hear where you stand. While Olin deals with its monkey dilemma, another Texas town, Locke, is fighting a very different battle. Under the blistering summer sun, farmers there wake up to find their land ravaged by wild hogs. Picture it. Dawn breaks, you grab your morning coffee, and instead of peace, you're staring at shredded fields, broken fences, and months of hard work gone overnight. These destructive invaders aren't just a Texas problem. They've spread across much of the U.S., from the Lone Star State to the Midwest, leaving billions in damage and putting countless farmers' livelihoods on the line. Out in West Texas, farmers aren't backing down. They're turning to bold, innovative tactics to reclaim their land. Instead of relying on traditional hunting, which often scatters herds and makes the damage worse, many are now using massive pen traps. Picture this, a 40-foot wide cage built from steel panels 5 feet high and locked into T-posts, sturdy enough to contain even the meanest hog. Farmers bait the traps with corn and fruit scraps, leaving the gates open for days so the hogs get comfortable wandering in and out. Once the herd lets its guard down, the real magic happens. Trail cameras connected to smartphone apps keep watch until the perfect moment, usually when 30 or 40 hogs are inside at once. With a single tap, the gates slam shut, capturing the entire group in seconds. In one night, a farmer can take dozens of hogs off the land, protecting acres of crops from destruction. The results speak for themselves. In 2024 alone, farmers in Love County trapped more than 60,000 hogs, proving this method leaves old-school hunting in the dust. But the job doesn't stop once the hogs are caught. Wearing protective gear, farmers carefully load the animals into trailers to avoid injuries from razor-sharp tusks or exposure to disease. From there, USDA Wildlife Services takes over, either transporting the hogs to processing facilities or humanely culling them to reduce health risks. To keep the pressure on, farmers also reinforce their land with electric fencing and motion-activated lights, making it harder for hogs to return. These combined efforts paid off big. In Love County, crop damage dropped by 35% in just a single season, proof that modern strategies can actually turn the tide in this battle. Still, the larger fight is far from settled. Across Texas, the wild boar crisis has ignited fierce debate among farmers, hunters, lawmakers, and ecologists. Some politicians argue for open hunting seasons, claiming it gives locals the freedom to deal with the problem head-on. Critics push back, saying unregulated hunting scatters the herds, only spreading the destruction further, and instead call for state-backed trapping programs. Hunters fear those programs could edge them out, while ecologists warn that invasive hogs pose a direct threat to native species. And in the middle of it all, political gridlock in Austin leaves frustrated farmers scrambling to defend their land on their own. In states like South Carolina and Kansas, hunting wild boar is still a favored tactic, but it's anything but simple. These animals are fast, intelligent, and protected by a thick shield of fat that makes them hard to bring down. In South Carolina, veteran hunters often rely on high-powered rifles like the Remington 700 chambered in 6.5 Grendel, valued for its accuracy and stopping power. Lighter firearms, like .22 LR handguns, are brushed off as rookie gear with little chance of success. Meanwhile, Kansas hunters lean on a different approach. Late summer through early fall marks peak hog season, when archers take to the fields with compound bows for their unmatched precision. Corn bait laced with strong scent attractants draws the hogs in close, sometimes within 30 yards, allowing hunters hidden in blinds to take carefully placed shots. Hunting, whether it's tackling invasive monkeys in Olin or battling wild hogs across Texas, comes with a responsibility far greater than just pulling the trigger. Every shot, every trap, every strategy carries consequences for people, animals, and the land we all depend on. That's why true hunters value more than just the chase. They respect ethical practices, humane methods, and the balance of nature itself. At Northwoods Pursuit, we believe hunting is not about destruction, but about stewardship, protecting communities, preserving ecosystems, and passing on traditions rooted in respect. If you share that vision, stick with us, because the stories don't stop here. Hit that subscribe button and join us for the next adventure where we uncover the raw, untold battles shaping the wild landscapes of America.